looking for rare ores, um, you can use one of these Spelunker Potions, and it will make all the ore glow, as well as other good things. Heart crystals will glow, treasure chests will glow. Over here, this is a dye item, I believe. Gems glow. Everything that's really good will glow. So that's going to help us find our platinum. So with the help of the Spelunker Potion, we were able to quickly find enough platinum. Other thing we need is rubies, which we also have plenty of. I think we need to use an altar. So we're gonna run over there, and we're gonna make a few of these items. So, okay, so here we are at the Crimson Altar. Oh yes. Okay, first thing we got to do. It's not just platinum and rubies. You have to actually craft. Where is it? There it is. A platinum crown from 5 platinum bars and 1 ruby. We're going to get a couple of these now. And now, with the platinum crown and 20 gels, you can make a slime crown, which is going to summon our king slime. So now we need to go back and kind of set up an arena for him. We've already got this arena built for the Eye of Cthulhu. It'll work just fine for the king slime. The most useful thing with fighting king slime is just having a wide surface to run across, and then some platforms you can use to jump over his head if you need to. So let's just get into it. Don't forget your rain cloud. That's going to do a ton of damage. So as we deal damage to him, he's going to drop these blue slimes that are just like every other blue slime you face. They count towards your total number of blue slime kills and everything. Yeah, this sprouted fork is, you have to be a little too close to him for my liking. Let's try using this gun. We start running that room, just run under him. If you get too far away from him, he can teleport, just as you saw there. If you look carefully, you can see what looks like a ninja inside of him there. That's the suit of armor that we're trying to collect now. Uh-oh. Help me, villagers! Wow, I almost died. Okay, he can teleport. We're not safe here. If I can get to that nurse, she can heal me. There we go. Now this is actually turning out to be a really good way to fight him. Alright, so we just gotta do a little bit of cleanup. Looks like we got it all. So, I think he always drops this solidifier. The solidifier is a crafting station that you can use to create furniture and stuff out of slime. The slime gun is just kind of a novelty item. It doesn't do any damage, but you can spray NPCs with it and they drip slime for a little while. The real thing we're after is the ninja suit of armor. We got the pants. It seems like there's pretty even chance of it dropping each set of armor, so you may have to kill them more than 3 times if you want the whole set. I'm not going to make you watch me fight it 3 times. I'm just going to go ahead and do that now, and hopefully I get the full set so I can show it to you guys. Okay, so I've killed them all 3 times. As you can see, I've got 2 pairs of ninja pants and 1 ninja shirt. So like I said, it's not guaranteed you're going to get all 3 items out of 3 fights. Got another squirt gun, got some more solidifiers. One thing you can drop is this slime hook. Actually, I think that can drop from any slime. It is inferior to the hook that we have now. I think they designed it that way just in case you get a slime hook right off the bat. It's not going to be the best one in the game. Another interesting thing I got, which is very rare, is this slimy saddle. That summons a mount. It's this little blue slime that I can ride on, and that actually has a space in your inventory for it. So I can summon this thing anytime. You can jump crazy high. They've also added a hotkey for that. I believe it's R. So at any time I can just hit the R key, jump on my rideable slime, and ride them around. You can even fight from the back of this thing. That's pretty cool. You still take fall damage though, so yeah, you probably don't want to be jumping off of stuff like that. It'll automatically go away if you use a grappling hook or anything like that. So that's how mounts work. So anyways, I'm going to fight the slime a few more times off camera, just to complete this armor set and show you guys what it's all about. Okay, I'm back. I now have the ninja hood, the 3rd piece in the set. I'm going to turn off the display of my accessories just so you can see this armor for its full effect. So there we are. Look like a ninja now. We get this cool little ghosting effect. The set itself gives us a 1 in 3 chance to not consume a throwable item such as those javelins or the ninja stars. The defense is pretty weak at this stage in the game. But I guess the idea is that you're going to be moving a lot and trying to stay at range. So this set also increases our throwing speed, our throwing damage, and our throwing critical strike chance. So if I can get out some throwing stars, shurikens, I can demonstrate that. There we are. Let's see, which one increases the damage? Does that show up in this? Okay, so 10 damage without the shirt, 11 damage with the shirt. Huge difference. But I think that would be 2 more damage from the javelins. So as you can see, it throws them a little bit faster, a little bit further. Every now and then we throw one, doesn't use a shuriken for throwing it. So this set of armor and killing the boss to get it is completely optional. That boss does show up on his own randomly from time to time. Mostly he's good for a quick source of money, as killing all those slimes ends up dropping a ton of coins. But you know, just for the sake of being complete, I wanted to show that to you guys. And also these solidifiers, those sell for 4 gold each. That's a lot. Or sorry, 2 gold each for 2 of them. I'm keeping one just in case, but yeah, that's something to do. So now we are going to go for the for the other optional boss that we can do at this stage. This one's a little harder to get to, but it's actually kind of an easy boss to fight. Okay, so this here is the jungle. The grass is a brighter shade of green. We also have these, what are they, rich mahogany trees that only grow in the jungle. So what we're looking for is actually underground in the jungle, which coincidentally is called the underground jungle. You can usually find little caves that lead underground, and that's the best way to get in here. So kind of like when you're looking for the heart crystals, you want to cover ground quickly. The monsters in the underground jungle are quite nasty even at this stage, so we don't want to linger for very long. It is good to grab the chest and such. Okay, we have found it. This up here is a honeycomb. And that is where the queen bee can be found. The queen bee is, like I mentioned before, that is a completely optional boss. You never actually have to fight one. So inside of here is where we'll find it. We have to dig through this honeycomb. As we dig through it, two things are going to happen. Honey is going to drip out, and it's also going to spawn these little bees that are going to try and kill us. We have high enough armor that it's probably not going to be a challenge to kill those little bees. So I'm just trying to use my magic weapons. I also just realized if we dig in from the bottom, all the honey is going to drain out. We kind of want to keep the honey in there, so I'm going to climb up and approach it from the side here. Okay, so now we're inside. It is not a very large biome. This is about as big as they get, really. So we're just going to light it up with a few torches and prepare the arena. While you are inside of this biome, you want to watch out for the actual queen bee itself. You can't really see it, but it's on top of this platform. If we hit it with any kind of weapon, it's going to break open and then come try and kill us. So until we get the arena set up, we want to be very careful of where our attacks are going. So as always, we just want to layer this area with platforms, give ourselves some mobility options. Alright, and one thing that's kind of nice about this boss fight is when you jump into honey, you get this life regeneration increase for 30 seconds. So at all times throughout the fight, you want to just periodically dip in and out of the honey to keep that buff on. We're going to be good and remember to put our campfire before the fight begins. So this way we've got a lot of life regeneration throughout the fight. I didn't bring any other potions to actually do the fighting with, but that's okay. This boss is not terribly difficult. And again, I'm going to resist the temptation to use the water bolt just because we really shouldn't have it right now. Plus I know it's going to make the fight really easy. Again, piercing weapons are good, but I've seen people do this fight with the bow and arrow. It's very similar to the Eye of Cthulhu, and let's just go ahead and start the fight so I can show you. He does these strafing runs from one side of the screen to the other, And after 3 of those, he's gonna go up to the top of the screen and he's gonna fire these little bees at us. That's where piercing weapons come in handy. So, main thing is to have those platforms so that we can duck out of the way of his little strafing runs. Oops, wrong button. Sometimes he fires these bees at you that are more like a gun. You can't kill them with any weapons or anything. You just have to keep moving to dodge them. So that part of it's a little bit different than the Eye of Cthulhu. Let's try the gun. That's doing more damage than the boomerang, so let's stick with this. Okay, there you have it, Queen Bee. Alright, let's see what we got. Picked everything up, right? Okay. So we got a hive wand, lets us place hives. Grenades, these grenades go off and a swarm of bees come out. There. Very handy against bosses, so we're going to hang on to those for sure. We got some bee wax, which is the main crafting item dropped by the queen bee, and bottled honey. It acts as sort of a weaker healing potion. There's also a few other uses that I haven't really explored. And the beekeeper, which is a huge upgrade to our melee weapon. We're definitely going to use that now. The sword itself doesn't have a lot of reach, but it has auto swing, so as long as we're holding down the button, he'll keep swinging that thing. And anytime you hit something, a swarm of bees come out and continue to deal damage. It also has a chance to cause confusion, which will make your make the target run away from you. Some enemies are immune to confusion, so just keep that in mind. That's why none of this stuff was getting confused. So now each, what do you call it? Each biome for the bees only has one of those queen bee things that you pop to summon the actual bee. But it is real easy to craft more of the items that summon the boss. It takes 5 honey blocks. I've got 24. Honey blocks can be mined. See there, that bat just got confused. So honey blocks can be mined when honey touches water. It solidifies, it slows you down when you run on it, but that's how you get the honey blocks. It takes 1 stinger. Stingers drop from a lot of the enemies down here. Mainly the giant hornets that you see flying around everywhere. Hive is all this stuff surrounding the beehive. And then bottled honey. We saw it, a bunch of it dropped when we killed the boss. You could also bring empty bottles and fill it up from here. What in the world is that? Anywho, yeah, so I'm gonna fight him a few more times off camera. Oh wait, no. Before I do that, put the anvil down and then I can show you the items we can craft using the bee wax. So there's a set of bee armor that you can see increases your max number of minions. There's also a hornet staff, which is the first thing that you should spend your bee wax on. You use the hornet staff and it summons a minion, a hornet minion to be exact. Now this minion works just like our little pet, except this one will actually help us fight. Without any kind of special armor or potions or upgrades, you can only have 1 minion at a time. So even if you aren't doing like a summoner kind of build where you have a whole bunch of minions, you should at least have 1, because you know they just help you fight more. Oh yeah, what else can we make? Well, we don't have enough bee wax to see the other options, but like I said, I'm gonna go ahead, craft a few of these, fight the bee a few more times so that we can actually make that set of armor. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so I fought the queen bee 2 more times. We're back here at the base now. I've already sorted most of my inventory. Alright, so we can use the bee wax to make the full set of bee armor. So right now with the crimson armor, we've got 27 defense. When I put on the bee armor, we have 21 defense. So you're taking 3 more damage per hit, typically. However, you can now have 3 bees. Also, it increases their damage quite a bit. So that is the first set of summoner armor that you can get. I believe it is the only summoner armor that you can get until the second half of the game, and I believe you buy it from the witch doctor NPC that moved in there. Right now he just has this crafting station that lets you imbue your weapons with poison. Basically allows you to add a negative effect to your weapons. Haven't really done much with that. If you're really trying to squeeze as much damage per second as you can out of your weapons, then that's one thing that you need to do.